everybody have to repeat it? Is this like
Yes. Yes, we
everyone?
do.
Not
Everyone,
just.
whoever's watching this, the next one to come along, you have to go recording in progress.
Well, the next one is Alia. So when she's.
I will message her and say, Miss Vastra, Madam Vastra, you need to go recording in progress.
Everyone has to be done. Right.
Hi.
Hi. Hello, and welcome to TT Conversations. This week, it's confusing because I don't know how often I'm going to put these out, but this time is Matt Barrett, who we call Strax. So don't be surprised if I call him Strax throughout the thing. Hello.
Hello. I'm Matt Barrett. Or Strax for obvious reasons.
For that. Yes. So you are. I'm just going to move my computer up a bit.
Pain in the ass. Yes,
well, yeah, we know that. You have been with TT basically since the beginning.
Nice, have I?
You're literally like
feel...
no, you're like the polar opposite of Chelsea. Chelsea is the second newest, and you're like one of the OGs.
Yeah, when the originals. Blimey.
Blimey.
Oh God, we did that at the same time. We have been working together way too long. It doesn't feel like that long.
No, it doesn't.
It's a bit what? No, were we a year old or?
Yeah, we recorded Angels of Station 2964 on like the 6th of August last year.
Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah. Yeah, that was just after the first sort of meetup, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we done the July meetup, and then we basically came back and recorded that. But because it was our first one, I remember we done the script read for that ages before we did the recording.
It was yeah, we did, didn't we?
But now we do it completely different. We've changed the system. We didn't know what was going on back then. We didn't have a clue, so we still don't, to be fair.
You'd never done all editing, or have you done that?
No. It was all leaping off a very, very, very high diving board and hoping it succeeded.
Well, we've got a lot more out there now. And we've got better editing, so
that's true. That's very true. Oh my God, I can't listen to BV1 or
Station 2964. You can't listen to.
No. But we met like most of the TTers. Most of the TTers we met on TikTok.
Yes, we did.
I can't remember the last time I even opened the app, to be fair.
Yeah. I think I've done one video in the last 4 months.
It's because of lockdown, though. I think a lot of people kind of started doing stuff and then kind of real life engaged, and it's like
we got back to some kind of normal, not normal. You know what I mean?
Normal for us.
Yeah, normal for what is now, not 3 years ago.
No.
Entered our lives.
But the thing is, though, I'd much rather spend, I don't know about you, but I'd much rather spend my evenings writing and audio editing and recording than I would doing 60-second videos that gets like 17 views, you know?
Well, the thing is, I can't, like, before we were doing like RPs and stuff on there, and now I've kind of lost the plot. I lost the plot years ago.
Well, yeah.
I can't, thanks. You know what I mean? It's like the idea of doing an RP, and I'm like, it's all that effort of putting an outfit on, especially in this heat at the moment. I couldn't. There's no way I could go in there and like put Batman on, because that's just like I would be melting in this heat. It's not happening. He's definitely a winter TikTok character for me.
Most of my TikTok characters are winter TikToks.
As soon as corsets for you.
Yeah, corsets, layers, and wigs. Like when it starts cooling down, I might venture back onto there again, but the thought of putting like Jenny Kickass or even just my Ace jacket, no.
But at the moment I can't even think of like sounds or find sounds I want to use, or I'll find something but it's got music over them and you can't actually hear what's being said.
Yeah. No, I genuinely think because our minds are in a different mindset now, we're more, I've come up with this idea, and rather than us trying to sort it out on TikTok and all that, we just make it an audio drama.
Slightly easier.
Yeah.
Less less costumes, I was going to say, involved.
No.
Unless you're doing the photo shoot, Abby.
We'll get onto that.
Yeah.
So, you
Yes.
started, your first character was in Station 2964. Why did I give
Yeah.
it such a bloody long title?
I don't know. It was your first one.
Oh no. And you played Drake.
I did. That was fun. So Matt, I got this character. He flirts a lot with the main lead. Oh, who's the main lead? Me. Oh, okay.
To me, Charlotte Pollard. Like,
Charlotte Pollard. And Ben as the Eighth Doctor.
Yeah. Back when we used to do Eighth Doctor audios, but now they've kind of fizzled away. But yeah, that was your first. The only thing that stands out with me is the one we always bring up is the crawling through the vent stuff. Because that was the first time we've properly been like, oh my God, audio acting is actually harder than you think.
Yes, well, we had Brandon directing us. And I didn't have a decent setup, I don't think, did I?
I think you had a mic.
I had a mic, but I don't. Yeah,
you didn't have a box and stuff.
No. So it was a bit roomy. Would be the comment from Brandon. So I'm like,
because I'm in a room.
I'm in a room with wooden floors, so I'm going to sound roomy.
Do they?
Yeah, that was bloody hot. But yes, breathy acting. That's fun. Make yourself lightheaded whilst crawling through a vent. Anyone walks past my lounge door, they think, what on earth is he?
Honestly,
what is he doing? I've actually got a sign. I've literally made up a sign. There's recording in progress. Recording in progress. and I blue tack it to my lounge door so that Jack, my 10-year-old son, and Ellen, my wife, do not come in.
They walk in and they're like,
the cats can't hear. Do you imagine that? Daddy, why you? Never mind. Go away. I'm recording.
Yeah, but knowing you'd stay in character and be like, boy.
Ooh, boy.
And next on my list is so obviously it's complicated when it comes to the queer stuff because Queer Doctor started off on his own channel and then he came over to TT because
he moved all of his stuff over to us.
Yeah, but next on my list I have got the Rankwood stuff. You enjoyed that, didn't you?
That wasn't my first with Jim, rather.
No, but I'm talking like the big like standout parts.
Yeah, and that was different because that was Jim did it. I think it was the first series he did record and send in.
Yeah, that was a puzzle one, so that probably was in your.
I had phone, not this one, but very similar. Trying to find a space to record in my house was very difficult anyway, because I got creaky floorboards upstairs, and I think the Rankwood I ended up recording in my shed because it was the only place I could. I needed to be loud. I'm like, Jack's upstairs asleep. I can't be loud. I need to do this outside, and that just knackered my voice up completely. I'm glad I managed to get it out in one take, and that was it. I couldn't speak afterwards because it's right at the back of your throat, just where it goes. I'm like, I can't do that voice.
If you notice,
I'll keep it up forever because it's just.
Since doing like voice and audio work, like now both of us can kind of say where the voice sits in our body. It's the weirdest thing. Like, yeah, because I remember because Jenny's right at the back of my throat, like right at the back of my throat, whereas Charlotte Pollard's all head.
Yeah, I remember saying it's like a head.
It's like a head voice. It's a head voice, whereas Jenny's very much you kind of have to close your throat up, but it's all right at the back of your neck, and it's the weirdest thing to describe.
Yeah, all right, it's kind of there, right there.
Okay.
I could do it too.
I think most people can, to be fair.
Imagine, Abby can't do a Jenny tonight. Oh, Strax, all right.
No, but this is the thing, because Grace can do it, Chelsea can do it, Alia can do it. Don't steal my job, it's mine.
It was stick with
the small potato one.
Yeah,
However,
it was
Before,
fun because it was my first villain as well. I think.
yes, it was. Yeah.
It was my first sort of and flirting again, but with Grace instead.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The famous line of what was it? I say something and it's she's playing Barbie to the Tudor King or something.
Yeah.
He's
Made
gonna
Barbie
hate
to
me
the
for saying
Tudor King.
yeah, that was
That this
Did
is
have
the
fun with
thing I say because obviously I've written them down in the wrong order. The thought of the whole like puzzle audio is just so alien now.
I couldn't no. And it was like I said, I didn't know any better then. And as I have said before, many times to people, I was not an actor. I was not an audio actor. Not in the case of people who've actually done
Like Chelsea, who's
like
been at it
Chelsea.
since she was like
Yeah.
10.
And like Ian, who I've
Mm.
known for the last 16, 17 years ish, something like that.
Mike.
Sorry. And I know he's done sort of acting stuff. So I'd never.
Yeah.
And Ian will say that, I go around to theirs before I met any of you lot, and I do silly voices, and he's like, you should go on stage doing that. I'm like, shut up, it's never gonna happen. and then I'm on a Zoom with you. No, I'm not on a Zoom. I'm on a TikTok with you, and Jim was there looking for actors. I was like, I'll give it a go. 1 year later, here I am.
Hello.
Still giving it a go, but I'm actually now calling myself an amateur voice.
Oh, 100%, hands down. Amateur voice actor.
Oh, what do you do? I'm an amateur voice actor.
Philanthropist.
I say words in various different accents.
To a microphone.
When I first met Abby Louise Chambers.
Surnames. Not many people know that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. We always go off on a tangent, me and you.
Oh, we have to though. We have to though. It's just like, yeah, it's just us. That's just the way TT works though. We can't just have like bullet point to bullet point. You have to have like.
That's the ADHD part of my brain goes, oh, squirrel.
Well, this is the thing. Both of us have got ADHD.
How the hell did we manage to do this?
I don't know.
Actually don't know.
Not a clue.
That's why I love like the whole of the team and stuff, because we've all got our own little things, and it's like the first. It sounds mean because I've had friends obviously before I met all of you lot, but it is kind of like I had those friends, but I didn't feel like I fitted in with those people. Whereas with everybody else, yeah, I kind of slot in quite nicely, and everyone else is
We're like X-Men.
Yes,
we're different. But I'm saying like we're different. We're like misfits. But yeah.
And we've all got different skills that we bring to the pot, which is quite nice.
Yeah. Exactly. Speaking of villains. Mr. B. Don't.
Yeah.
Stop it.
I remember. It must have been on a Zoom.
It probably was on a Zoom.
Probably was on a Zoom. And Abby goes, Matt, I'm writing this before Vastra series. I want you to do a character, but I'm going to push your acting. To which I went, oh, I'm not an actor, so this is going to be fun. To which then I think you and Jim went, yes, you are. So yeah. And you told me of this lovely character known only as Mr. B.
Mr. Bancroft.
Mr. Bancroft, the match factory owner, and the things he does to these poor women, apart from Susan.
Yeah, Susan's
the
lucky
one. Yeah, Susan is the lucky one. She does not get mauled and groped and all sorts of other things. I'm not going to say. If you haven't heard it, go and listen to BV, the entire series, because he's there in. Yeah.
I don't think you're in one.
No, I'm not in. No, I'm definitely not in one. But I'm definitely in
No,
two, and then four. I think it
and
is.
three. Three's the biggie.
Three. Yeah, and then a few other little side projects.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't going to come back, was he, Abby?
So I spoke,
Working too well.
yeah, I spoke about so he's in the project that's coming out soon, but I'm not going to name it because it's a
Mm,
spoiler. But also he is in Molly 2, which we spoke about with Chelsea. So Mr.
yeah,
B.
Mr.
Well,
B.
you'll know how much he gets on with Molly.
Oh, it was trying to find the. I remember you. So I say when you do the photo shoots and stuff, and I was like, hey, right, how am I gonna? Because at first I was like, not sure how I'm going to play this guy. Kind of creeped me out a little bit. Wasn't really like overly sure about it. I thought I'm going to give it a go because why not? And I was like, this could go. Like I could either like this dude, that sounds weird, or really hate him. And you're supposed to hate him, but it's kind of fun playing,
It's
especially when I get certain reactions from the cast.
so we did a photo shoot, and
Oh,
I will put the photo up, the photos up that he did with Chelsea as Molly. And he put the whole gear on as Mr. B, and I kid you not, scared the living daylights of every single female from TT
yep.
that went away.
Yeah, and a couple of the gents as well. I think were a bit like, oh god, that's not. It's when I put the hat on because I wear the cap, but I put it so because when I originally did the
It's
did the outfit
BV3, BV3, you're on the
UV3
cover.
when I originally did the outfit for you, I was like, I don't want people because I wasn't sure if I was gonna like playing this character or not. And I'm like, I don't want people seeing my face, but that just then turns out that you don't actually see his face properly. You just see from like there
Yeah.
under the cap because I always look down and the cap's all down and it's a Peaky Blinder style like flat cap thing. Uh, yeah, and bless Chelsea. I mean, I'm 6'4". She's tiny.
She's what, 4'11"?
Yeah, and
Oh my God.
she, I could feel her shaking when the second I had my arm on her shoulder, and because you're that close to someone taking a photo, and I'm like, obviously we're really good friends as well. Sorry, Chelsea,
Acting.
acting, but literally, I can't look at her because I know I'll giggle or something, and I think she's telling me to stop.
Stop. Yeah.
Like I put my hand on her shoulder, and I can feel her almost like tremble, and I can feel her heart beating
You
like
gotta think
mad, and
though,
I'm like,
you gotta think
God,
though, Chelsea, like she's in the moment.
mm,
She's scared of you in that moment. So because she's acting scared, she probably felt scared.
yeah. And it's like I'm like that was the most I haven't done. I don't think I've done a photo shoot.
Not
No,
as
because all
Mr.
my
B.
no. Well, I'm just thinking. I don't think I've done a photo shoot with anyone else. Any other photo shoots have been like me taking a picture and then you magically editing it. So this was the first time I stood next to somebody doing something. And I was like, this is really creepy. I was getting creeped out because she was scared. I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Should be over in a minute. I'm just going to take the
I say,
photo.
but we've had people, we've had two TTers actually that have listened to BV3 in particular, one of which was in the bath and had to get out because it freaked her out so much, and another person was walking in the woods and they
Don't.
they had to stop the audio because they couldn't walk in the
Yeah.
woods by
Don't
themselves.
walk through a wood, a graveyard, basically anywhere that's sort of where you're on your own, especially if it's dark, whilst listening to BV3.
Oh Lord,
I
I say, and
apologise. I am a very nice man.
he's a
I
lovely
don't know
man,
where I
but
don't know where this character comes from.
I will warn you now, he is back in Molly too because reasons. So
The
look
weird
out,
thing
look.
is as well, it's getting into certain characters, especially him. Like to get into him, I have to try and get as much rage and anger,
You
which isn't
squeeze a
easy.
ball, don't
Yeah,
you?
I've got disappeared now. I've got like a little stress ball because before I didn't have it and I was doing this with my fist, and at the time I had slightly longer nails, and I had all these nail
Come out
marks in my hand. I'm
bleeding.
like, ow! I need something to sort of. And I was thinking about people that have annoyed me in the past, or
Fair.
idiots that have said stuff, bullies and all that sort of stuff. And I'm like, and I'm glad, because when we do the read-throughs, obviously it's on Zoom, but I'm so glad that we record where you can't see everyone's face, because I don't know if I could keep that up.
Well, especially with our scene, and I don't want to talk about it too much because there's a bit of a spoiler if you've not listened to Boo-Hoo-Free. From this, you need to learn. You need to listen to Boo-Hoo-Free.
Yeah.
But there's a scene between me and you.
Mm.
Oh my god, it felt so awkward doing it on Zoom. We were fine when we were doing it on Zen, but on Zoom it was just like, oh my god, I don't know where to look.
Yeah, because when we're on Zoom as well, you've got all the other cast members, and I daredn't look up. And even when we weren't reading, I think I muted myself, and I was talking to myself in his voice to keep the voice, because if I was afraid at that time, because he was a new character, I was afraid that if I started talking about this, then that voice would have gone.
Yeah.
Like, shit, how do I get it back? And I didn't want to lose the sort of. I was in the moment, so just
yeah.
I was in the moment, darling, and I didn't want to. Professional actor, that sort of thing. Hello, yeah. This is. Yeah.
No, but
Abby's like, more voices he does. Okay.
No, but this is the thing, because you are the nicest, kindest human. Like, you are a 6 foot whatever softy. But and then
softy.
Strax. As in the character Strax, not just you.
Yeah, Miss Jenny. I've been waiting for this one.
There we go. This is the thing. A lot of us have like you're quite not special, but like reoccurring character wise, because obviously Chelsea has Molly. Yes. I have Jenny.
Yes, you do.
You have Mr. B and Strax.
Yes. And yes.
Yeah, we'll go on to him in a minute, but like
I definitely yes, this one is the easiest. But then, and again, going back to what you're saying about voice, I know exactly where he sits in my voice. There.
I think the thing that makes you,
which is slightly worrying, because Mr. B is similar, but it's lower.
Yeah, it's more rough, isn't it? Though it's rough around the edges, as Mr. B.
Very stretches appear. Yeah.
I think the
scary how quickly I go into it
now. Like
before with Strax, I was like, because I remember you asking, no, what was it? It was on TikTok, wasn't it? And did you put a call out for Strax? And I was like, oh, how difficult can this be? And I listened to, because I was, and don't shoot me, people, I did not even realize there was such a thing called Big Finish. I had never heard of Big Finish, didn't know that it even existed, and somebody on this particular Zoom, hello Abby, introduced me to the PaternosterGang, which I didn't realize they had. I loved them in the series and didn't realize they had their own 4-part box set type thing. So I listened to all of that before I started doing Strax. But the only way I could start doing Strax is by literally saying "pitiful human scum."
Yeah, do you remember when we first both started? Because I remember us talking about this on a a TikTok live, and you know when you first start, I don't know. I'm going to ask Alia this, but for us, when you first start a voice, you kind of had to have like a keyword or like a key phrase to get into that. And
especially if it's someone you're emulating, it's different if you're creating that own character. So for Mr. B, I didn't need that. But for Strax, I was like, I need something I can see to. That was the only thing I could think of.
Always had to do it for Jenny as well.
It would either be that or Mr. Holmes. I've just got Grace in my head going, doing the whole line. But now I could just literally sort of slide straight into Strax.
Well, that's the thing now, isn't it? We can just switch it on.
Exactly.
Whereas before, I'd have to go, blimey, or sorry, Mum.
Sorry, Mum.
Strax.
And he's just I can see why Dan Starkey loves playing him. The character is just like it's hilarious to play. He's the comic relief of
but I feel like a lot, especially with the Big Finishy stuff, a lot of Dan is in Strax, like his humor. And you and Dan have very much got the same level of humor. Like, if you listen to the me, Strax, and Alia done a live comic relief.
Oh,
what was it called?
yes,
I can't remember what it's called now.
Brimstone and Treacle, wasn't it?
Yeah, Brimstone and Treacle. And
the images of the Strax in the bath with a rubber ducky.
But it was completely improvised, but all the way through, like, Strax is keeping up his Strax comedy, and which is great. But me and Alia have a habit of getting the giggles.
Yes, you do.
So
10 minutes later of giggling, and we finally get more lines.
I've said this before, but we, like, attitude wise, like, you, me, and Alia, we very much emulate Neve, Katrin, and Dan, like hands down. Because Alia
reverse Paternoster in height.
In height, yes. It's like Alia, me, you.
Yeah. So any photos I take of Strax, I have to be on my knees because
We'll just put Alia on a box, like.
God.
No, but like, yeah, we very much have the same, because like, you're the comedy, Alia's the giggler, which is the same as Neve, and then there's me who's trying to actually get the stuff done. Oh no, but I love it. Oh,
but yeah, it's
2 seconds.
He's one of my
2 seconds. I'm going to turn my camera off a moment because my child is here. You can carry on talking. Oh, look at my lovely picture. What?
Cut this bit out.
No, I'm leaving it in.
Swines. Talks amongst yourself, people, while Strax has a little drink.
I'm back.
I was going to say something, I can't remember what it was now. No, I
sorry.
No, it's the fact that I think about of all of the voices I have done for various different projects, Strax is probably my favourite. And he's just, yeah, it's possibly second close second would be Mr. B, because there is something about playing an evil, but I can see why certain actors have played like mainly villains, like Christopher. Is it Christopher Lloyd?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see why he mostly played villains his entire career, because they are fun to play. They're also quite creepy, but they're fun to play. But Strax is just something else.
I'll say this, because as it stands at the moment, Strax has only been in BV, so they're like tiny little flashback scenes, and the PaternosterGang bites. But next year will be the PaternosterGang with Strax. He will finally be joining. You've
got some bloke called Cooper, and I have no idea who this Cooper is.
So we have
and
Cooper.
I don't like him.
And we have one more with Cooper, and then we have 2, which is just Jenny and Vashta. Oh my god, don't even start. They are so hard to write by themselves. It's actually ridiculous, isn't it, Strax?
Yes, because that's something I never ever thought I would ever do, would be write something. Because again, I'm not a writer. My brain does not. I don't read books because I can't.
Yeah.
ADHD. I can't focus on something unless it's something I know. The only sort of books I've really read are like all the entire Harry Potter series and a couple of Assassin's Creed ones, because it's something I know, I've played or I've watched, and I'm like, I actually want to read that. Other books, you throw a book at me, it'll go.
Yeah, I struggle with reading.
So to be able to sit down and write any kind of audio, I think the first one was a Pat bite I wrote.
Yeah, you wrote the Christmas Pat bite, and there's an episode after Cluster that you wrote, which is one of the Jenny and Vashtas.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that one. Forgotten about that.
Yeah, but you've written it's like 30 pages long. Like it got yeah. I'm well excited for that one as well. I don't want to give too much away, but yeah, Strax has actually written a full length episode.
Yeah, well, I've written a couple now, because there's one for another character that isn't out.
That's not out. Yeah, no. That's like.
And again, it's like because the first one, the Christmas one, again, I think that came out of a Zoom where we chucking around ideas and be like, well, what if Strax thought Santa Claus was invaded? Not. And I literally, it just went, and that for the first one I've ever done, it literally just rolled out straight away, automatic, and similar to the first really long one I did, which isn't out yet.
Not yet, not till next year.
But trying to write just Vastra and Jenny. No comedy relief is.
It's difficult.
I was getting headaches. I sort of wrote a bit, put it away, would then come back, read what I'd written, add bits to the bits I'd written, and then write more, then stop, and then.
Well, it's like, you'll notice, like, anybody who's paid attention with the TT stuff, a lot of the stuff that I'm in charge of gets released in threes. Well, not just Jenny and Vastra, because we struggled so much that there's only 2 scripts, and they're by me and Strax. And then,
two's enough, because we can't do a third one because I've run out of ideas.
Well, then it's another Christmas special that I'm literally writing right now, which has got Strax in it. So,
yes.
Yay! Yay!
I missed playing Strax.
He is fun. He is fun. But let's say we've got all the Pat Bites and the comic book adaptations and all that.
Yeah, like the one that Chelsea's edited, where Strax takes over the narration. That's just I love that one. That was fun.
Oh, what's that? Which one's that? The Importance of Being Strax. See, this is the thing, because it's from a comic. It's like
slightly easier to adapt.
But they're fun. They are fun to do.
Definitely.
So, Melvin.
Yes, Professor Ian Melvin.
So, Melvin first appeared. Melvin first appeared in Nightmare Museum of Queer. And I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about this, but yeah, basically he's in Nightmare Museum, and he will be possibly coming back at some point. I don't know how much has been like. I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about. So yeah.
Certain writer is not here, so we'd have to double check.
But yeah, he is coming back, but I can't say in what capacity.
No, he's the I suppose he's the eldest character yet that I've voiced, because he's certainly a lot older than. Certainly not older than most. Certainly not older than most of the characters.
Strax is the grand age of 4.
Yes, exactly.
Whereas Professor Ian Melvin is slightly older.
And that was a kind of, I'd auditioned for a security guard for James's first audio, and he was like, I think he was struggling to find somebody to play this particular. And he sort of said, "Oh, could you do an old man's style voice?" I went, "Pretty sure I can. At the time I worked in a nursing home full of elderly ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure I can pull something out the bag, so to speak." And I just sent him. I read out the start of his first episode as Professor Ian Melvin, and he was just like, "Oh my god, that's perfect. That's the voice I wanted. You got it, darling." Sorry, Jim, that was a terrible impersonation. But yeah, it was, and he's kind of
I've done a photo shoot for him. I had to grey up my beard. I had to put grey in my hair. I've already got grey, but I grey the whole
grey it more.
Grey more to make it look.
And then I had to find like a cardigan and flannel shirt, and I've even got a walking stick for him.
Oh my god!
That was one of the residents when at work, when he moved out. They left the stick, and I was like, "I'm not throwing that out. I'm not throwing that out. That's Melvin's.
Melvin's stick."
It's the only walking stick as well, because I'm 6'4", that I could actually use as a stick if I need to, because it actually
the right height.
It's the right height, which is weird. But yeah, it's fun playing him, especially when he tells off Jennifer.
What are you trying to say?
You know exactly.
No, I don't. Shut up.
That was a Georgian.
I know it was Georgian, but I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we love it when we got.
Think about how many voices you've done. Various different teams.
I just love the fact that, like, especially with you and me, the different dynamics that we've had to, like, Melvin and Jennifer, and then Jennifer's a bitch, but I love playing Jennifer. She's fun. And then obviously Drake and Charlie with the flirting, and then Mr. B and Jenny. Then Mr. B and Jenny with the like horrible scenes. And then Strax and Jenny.
Yeah, but the thing is, as well, we used to do at the moment. I mean, I with Mr. B, I'm kind of like, this is going to sound weird coming out the way I'm going to say it, but I'm yeah, you're kind of pimping me out with all of the female members of the TTT, because the second we get a new one, oh well, Mr. B does such and such to your character. They're like, oh
Yeah.
god. But
Whereas
Melvin's
like
nice. He's my nice little
Melvin's
old gentleman.
lovely. But yeah, basically I'm trying to think. Mr. B has literally slept with Jenny, Molly,
Miss Elizabeth.
Miss Elizabeth. We said that there's a new character in Molly too called Imogen, played by the woman who plays Molly's mummy, Vanessa. We said she's been Mr. Bede as well. Kat plays a girl called Kitty in another audio that Mr. B's in, so she's been Mr. Bede.
Yep. That's it now.
So basically, all the female English female TTers have been Mr. Bede, except for Susan and Vastra.
And Jocker, but she's not English, but yeah. Oh, Vastra. Yeah, that would never. She'd wrap her tongue around his neck quicker, you could say.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah.
Been Mr. Bede.
That's that thing now. You've been
Mr. Bede. He's a horrible man.
He's a
horrible, horrible piece of work, but he is fun to write, and that's the reason why he keeps coming back. As weird and strange as that sounds.
Well, I never thought I'd enjoy playing a character. Yeah, him. When you first pitched the idea to me, it's just. Yeah.
Do you know as well? You were one of the first people I cast in BV.
Really?
Yeah.
What, as Mr.
Yeah, Mr. B was one of the first people I cast. So I cast like all the match girls around you. Because I think it was you I cast. Yeah, it was you I cast first. Then it was Joe Eddins. Yeah, and then it was Lauren.
Oh, yeah, her character hasn't been Mr. B, I don't think.
I don't know. I'm probably going to give her. I'm probably going to give her a backstory at some point.
But Molly's the longest, 10 years.
Yes, Molly is the longest. But yeah, and then probably Chelsea. Yeah, BV wise, like the first 4, Alia was the last cast, and you were the first cast. Because Alia was a late comer to BV. Considering her name's in the title.
This is the bit where Strax, fangirls, because I remember you sending me the Alia's lines, and you were going, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god!"
Oh yeah, because
I heard it, and I was like, "Holy!" She sounds just like Neve, and I was like,
yes.
"Oh my god!"
No, because I remember for the first one she didn't record live. She just sent them in. Yeah, because the first scene that we actually recorded live together was the proposal. Hi, Alia, let's propose.
But yeah, it's
yeah, she's incredible. But yeah, I do nothing but fangirl over Alia and Chelsea. So the 2 women I work with the most.
Whereas I just fangirl over. Yeah, a few different people.
Yeah, we love it. So, audio editing.
Yes. I have. Yes. I'm one of them as well.
You are one of them as well. You are one of them as well.
I am an editor, an actor, and a writer.
You are, but you
all within a year.
Yeah, you primarily edit your Future Doctor.
Yes, I do, and again, that kind of came out of nowhere. I was never, when I started doing the audio stuff with you and the stuff I was doing with Jim before. I never thought. I mean, I was mucking about with my OC Future on TikTok, just doing random stuff over there. But he was never gonna get any kind of serious. And then Ian Harris, who, like I said earlier, I've known him for God knows how many years. He's one of my friends I had before. Obviously, I met everybody through lockdown on here. He messaged me while we were away on the first holiday, and had seen a few things I'd done and sort of said, you cosplay a doctor. I was like, yes. Well, I do writing, and I was thinking of writing a series for your doctor. And I was like, sorry, what? You're talking to my good here. And he was trying to ask me all these questions about it, and I was like, I'm in London with the gang. I can't, let me have when I get back, we can have a proper chat and figure stuff out or what have you. And yeah, once I got back, I was messaging him, and he was asking me all these questions of what's he like, and so I literally just sent him a load of the TikToks I've done, especially things like the War on the Moon stuff that we did, the RP stuff. And oh no, that was not
No, not Law on the Moon. That's Strax.
See, ADHD brain, and it's hot. But I sent him a few bits and pieces, and he was like, okay, right, I think I've got an idea. And he was asking me all these sort of questions, and the way I kind of pitched it to him is that, because obviously we've got James has got his own doctor, I've got mine, and they're completely different to each other. This is what I like about mine. Is very much sort of the idea it might originally had come from, obviously the home I used to work in was a dementia nursing home, and I was like, what if the doctor, because obviously when he regenerates, everything regenerates, but what happens if he ended up with like Time Lord dementia, for argument's sake, and part of his brain hasn't regenerated, so there's lots of memories and stuff he can't remember, and it's either slowly regenerating or not going to at all. And Ian just kind of went off on a tangent, and the next thing I know, I'm being sent like half a script. Here we go, I've done this, and I was like, really get going. Well, I don't know what that word says.
Oh,
Ian likes to put in really long words, because Ian basically swallows a thesaurus.
He 100% swallows a thesaurus.
So I end up having to say things like I can't say that one. Transcendental.
Dimensionally transcendental. That's an adjective line.
Dimensional transcendentalism.
Yeah.
Something like that. And other things like that. And I'm like, oh my God, this is like, yeah. So then sort of the future series was kind of born in effect. And obviously James, our music man, provides the music, and it's yeah, we chat about what we were going to come up with, and the second he sort of said about a character, and I was like, I know exactly who I want to play the companion.
Yeah.
Which is the wonderful Tina. She's just, I remember when I asked her, she's like, but Tina lives in Belgium, so she's got a very different accent to most people. And I was like, yeah, but I don't care about the accent. We've already got this quite a good connection between the two of us, and we bounce off well, and I love recording with her. It's so much fun doing the audio stuff, because it's like we've got this connection now, and we know our characters inside out. And then when he told me who the villain was in the first episode, I was like, oh, Ian, I know exactly who can play that, because they already do this particular character on TikTok. Here's a video of said character, and shall we get Abby in to play her version of the Rani in it? And he was like, ooh, I could literally hear the cogs ticking in his brain. I was like, he was like, that's the perfect person. You're welcome.
Literally, I remember when we recorded that scene, and Ian was holding back like squeals of excitement, like because I kept giggling in the back of shot and stuff like that, and he was just like, I'm loving this. Like,
it was like events, and yeah, so because obviously he did that, I was like, well, I want to, because I remember you saying, oh, I don't mind editing. I was like, well, I'm gonna give it a go, and if I really can't do it, then I'll be like, Abby, help. Well, I found my own little editing package that works on this particular computer I've got, and yeah, the first one was a bit, but I've got a kind of a system where I'll do a rough edit, then I send it to Ian. He has a listen, makes any notes, and then send it to Tina, and she has a listen, and she's bound to hear something that I don't.
Yeah.
And it's a kind of a bit of a group effort, because as you know, when you're listening to certain things over and over again. You do forget things. I remember, there was a line that I must have cut out completely. I think it was Brandon's character, and I was like, "Oh no, I've lost this particular thing. Where's it gone?"
What is with audio? It's just disappearing. Like, I remember just
Oh, I don't know.
Chelsea, we were watching Chelsea edit yesterday and she kept losing tracks. She's like, where
Yeah.
have you gone?
I don't know. I think the trouble is, if you've got it on a particular thing, I think what I'd done is I'd highlighted it, not realised I'd highlighted, moved down the thing, pressed delete, and it's gone. And I was like, of course, by the time I'd realised it, I couldn't go back to find it because it completely gone out of the thing.
No, the thing I always end up doing is muting it and then being like, "What? Oh yeah, I don't need to unmute that."
Oh no, I had that when I was trying to find out where this random sound was coming, why there was a random echo, and it was I think it was you that screamed, but it was reverbing in mine and Zach's headphones.
Yeah.
And had been recorded. I was like, well, that's new.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the only thing with recording live is if people have got their headphones too loud, obviously their mic picks up their headphones. So if somebody's like
think about
no
this close as well.
So if somebody's screaming, you tend to have the echo of all the other tracks. Right. So like in my head now, like if I have somebody scream, I'll be like, right, just before the scream, everybody else mute your mics because then it doesn't pick up everybody else's. We learn in these tricks.
Yeah, or I'll just sort of sit like way back over here.
Yeah.
But it is fun doing the editing. I don't know how, like when Jim started doing it, I don't know how he did the sort of puzzle piecing it together thing.
No.
It's so much easier doing it the way we do it, and I'm having fun. I'm in the process of editing the third story for Future Miasma, which has got lots of intricate sounds in, and I've got to make a sound for a new villain, and it's I get to properly use this editing package. I hadn't the first episode I didn't, because it was just like one sound here and there, ticking clocks, fire in the background. We love a ticking clock, don't we? And not much else. But audio editor, something again I didn't think I'd end up doing. Even my dad's like, how do you do that? I'm like, I've got this package, Dad. I really like it. Thank you, Dad.
It's addictive though. I was talking about this with Chelsea, and
this is why we don't TikTok anymore.
No, it generally is. It generally is. Because like, especially you and me, we've got ADHD. So you'd think like statistically, you'd think that we couldn't do it. Like, but it is addictive. And I feel so lost at the moment because I've got nothing to do.
No, you've got nothing to do. No, this is the thing. Is like, I think as well. I think actually that because we've got ADHD, it helps us edit slightly better, because I sort of have as part of my ADHD, I hear sounds more some than others, so I can pick up a random squeak on a track. Like I downloaded a track from where we get some of our background sounds from. It was a fire track, but in the background there's this noise, and I'm like, where the hell is this coming from? You're sat there, and I'm like, nobody else could hear it on the track. I sent it to Ian, he didn't hear it. I sent it to Tina, she didn't hear it. It was only when I was going through it just to listen to it, I was like, what the hell is that noise? Of course, then you're like, where is it? And then you find out, and I think it's someone's opening like a grate on this particular fire, but it squeaks, and it's like it's in a really inappropriate place. You don't need that noise. And I'm like, I need to now find this and do something. Or trying to match up clocks when they're TikToking.
That's one thing that really winds me up. Is that it's one of the first clock scenes that I edited, and it's in BV1 with Miss Elizabeth in the office. And every single time I've gone back and listened to it, like it's not a great edit anyway, because obviously it was one of my first. But the one thing that stands out to me the most is the tick, 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 tick.
Yeah. And it's things like that I will notice because of my ADHD and the way I hear certain sounds and stuff, and it's irritating at times. But for audio editing, I mean, even Ian said he was amazed at how quickly I'd managed to edit the first episode of Futures.
Yeah,
And
we
it was
work really quick for
he was
some
like,
reason.
how I think I had it done within about a week, probably, because I literally sat here and just did nothing.
Honestly, like I can edit a whole like an hour and a half episode in a week, easy. But I think that's mainly down to we're not having to wait for lines to be sent in because we all record live. You
Yeah.
literally just line the tracks up and then just take chunks out you don't need. You're not just like you're not puzzle piecing, so it saves on time so much.
And the more, I don't know about you, but the more I'm doing it, the more I'm sort of. Whereas if before, I don't know, there's a bit of dialogue and someone's talking and somebody else talks afterwards. Whereas before, I may have left a tiniest little bit too long of a pause. Now I sort of bunch it up even further.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just like trim it so that it's a smooth conversation as if we'd be doing it before. I had to do it for one of the future ones because
delay.
Yeah, I was recording with Vicky, and there was this like 4-second delay on, I don't know if it was her internet or whatever, but we'd speak a line, and you're like, "Did you hear it? Is she there?" And I want to go, "Vicky, are you?" And then all of a sudden she'd carry on with her line. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's fine." But then it's like we'd then speak directly afterwards.
Yeah,
again.
no, I
And it's
think
like,
I think it's something to do with internet lag
yeah, I
because
think so.
I had it with Chris when we were recording. There's a dinner scene in Molly 2, no, in Molly 1 even, and he's Molly's dad, but Molly says this lovely nice prayer in Irish, and then everybody at the table goes amen, and then 10
4
seconds
seconds
later Chris
Amen.
goes amen.
What?
We're like, "You're right down there, Chris." He's like, "I think my internet's lagging."
It's a really long table. I've just got a picture. It's a really long table. You know, like in Batman, when Michael Keaton sat at one end and she sat at the other end.
Yeah.
You got all the family there, and he's all the way down there. You're right, Nana.
Oh my god, yeah, it's just Chris Walker Thompson going, "Amen." Really?
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's editing is just as Chelsea's finding out at the moment. She's our newest editor, and I think she's having fun.
We might be getting a new one soon, so
another new one.
Yes, Grace Beard.
Ooh.
They're all going to be trained.
Well, I say doing it on the Pat Bites is because that's why it was good for me to start writing on something that small, because it's only 8-9 pages.
Yeah, at the most.
I'm like, yeah, I could write about that. And then actually, to be fair, the one I was writing, I probably could have written more than that because it just came out like,
yeah.
But then Ian's like, "Oh, maybe you could write one of mine." I'm like, that like sometimes they're like, or we do future slightly differently.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
It's a difference to like James does sort of usually like maybe 2 episodes and it's done. Others might just do one.
Yours is very much old school.
Yeah,
isn't
ours
it?
is very much old school classic, where you get like a 4-parter or a 3-parter, because that's how Ian can't write short scripts. Bless him. I'm like, yeah, I could give it a go, but I wanted to try my hand at writing first. So I was thinking PaternosterGang or Pat Bites would have been a nice, easy little thing, and then obviously I've done a couple of full.
This is the thing as well, because obviously we're trying to train up Chelsea and Grace. I've put out a shout out for anybody. So as well, if anybody who's watching this fancies writing a PaternosterGang bite, there's some already on our channel. It's under the Pat Bite playlist. But if you fancy trying to write a 4 to 8 paged Pat Bite script, comment below and I will get to you, because currently I have 5 people interested outside TT, so we're going to be bombarded, which will be nice because they're nice and easy to record as well. We can do a couple in a row.
They're quite simple to edit as well.
Yeah,
they're not very long.
Yeah, they're nice and nice to learn from, and it gives people that experience in writing scripts. But also, I'll say this, it's a challenge in itself, because if you are one of these people who I'm going to use Josh Griggs as an example
Mm.
because he writes like 40, 45 page scripts. And I remember saying to him, would you like to write a pat by? And he was like, I don't think I could physically write a script that's only 8 pages
I
long.
don't think Ian could either. He's like, no.
It is a challenge in itself. It really is. And on that note, thank you for joining me, Strax / Matthew Barrett. I don't know if I've ever called you Matthew.
Only my mother called me that.
Okay. Yeah, thank you for joining us. And
That's
that
all
was
right.
another TT Conversations. And next time, I have Ali Aritori on.
Ooh, that'd be good.
Yay. Bye.
Bye.